Good morning, this is Shelley from Hodgepodge Hoosiers. It's the day after Mother's Day, so I hope all you mothers out there had a wonderful day with your family, your kids. Today we're putting in the irrigation. I've got my bean bed amended now. I put some Epsom salt and just a general vegetable fertilizer in it and worked it in. And I've got my drip line laid in, which this was already pre-cut from the couple of years before that we've done this. So we're going to put the buckets in when Jeff gets home, and I'm going to link a description to the original video that we did, the gravity fed irrigation system, because the setup is still pretty well the same. Like I said, this was pre-cut, so I knew that it was going to fit this bed, and then we just roll it up and I put it in a box and keep it in the house during the winter. So he's going to finish up, but I'm getting it laid out just so he don't have to do so much when he gets home. And this is something that I can do by myself. We use these little staples, garden staples, like we put in our ground cover. They work great to hold it in place. Not a whole lot to it. They got little not emitters, but little holes. You can see right there. Sometimes those gets plugged, and I do show in the videos what I do for that. I've got a tool that I use for my Cricut machine. It's just a point, which you could use anything. You could use Jeff's got a little Craftsman punch. Just got to have a sharp point to it, and you kind of just poke it down in there to open it back up. If it gets a piece of dirt in it, it'll clog, but that's an easy fix how we do it. It's worked for us. And as you can see over here, I've got my pepper line in. I just no, this is tomatoes, sorry. This is just run down the center next to them. And then here's our peppers. So I had to water them this morning because they've been in since Saturday. So I give them a drink well before the sun kind of come up this morning. So I've got these two beds done. And then I did get my sweet potato slips in. It got down to 50 something last night for the low. But I know they look a little yellow. They snap out of it really fast. I'm not a bit worried. If you do get some limp leaves, just throw them off or pick them off and throw them. But they're doing great. I've not ever had to worry about that. So I've got a drip line in this one. Here's my tomatoes. You can see I've left enough room for him to attach it. Well, actually, I popped it off. I'll leave it lay. That's his department. So I've got them running along the sides of the tomatoes so they all will get a drink when we do fill buckets. Another sweet potato bed. I didn't worry about getting them too close. Sweet potatoes don't need a whole lot of water. My husband's uncle told us, and it's something that sticks to me, the more you neglect the sweet potato, it seems like the better they grow. So you give them a drink. We won't water them as much as we do the tomatoes and the peppers. But they'll get a drink, and now it'll be a steady drink. I just got this short little line here got one tomato plant and one pepper plant. And here's our cucumber bed. I got them planted Saturday. I've got 8 hills. There's 3 different varieties in there. Ordered from Baker Creek. I can't remember. One's Early Fortune and one's a pickler. They're on the other side. And then one's a slicer. And then I think the 2 on the end is a different variety. We like eating them fresh just as much as we do eating pickles. And as you can see, I planted these early last week, and we had one night that got down to 35, and this one got bit. I think it's going to be okay. The majority of it is just fine, but yeah, it wasn't too happy about that. But they was stressing in the house, so I had to get them in the ground. They're going to be fine. They're greening up. That one over there actually looks beautiful. It's got a little bloom on it. See if I can see here. Yeah. And I do not know, this is the first time I think since I've been doing raised beds that I do not know if these are determinate or indeterminates. I know I've got, these are a sauce tomato, and then these down here is Better Boys. No, I take that back. These are both Better Boys. Well, I'm going to take that back again. This is a Better Boy, and this is called a Super Sauce, Big Mamas. The lady at the nursery really recommended them. Said they would be great for salsa, and that's what I needed. And I think these are called Delicious 77 Day. So this is just I've not ever had tomatoes in this bed to succeed. Like we did earlier this year, we took the dirt out and we had a load of composted soil brought in. So this is new soil for them. So I'm hoping that they do okay. So I think I'm about done. I may go ahead and plant this bean bed because we've got these netted domes here that goes on these two beds to keep birds from pulling my seeds out. Because beans is one of the biggest things that I can, so I need every one, and birds like getting in them seeds or pulling the young plants. So I might go ahead and get busy and get this one planted. I use the square foot method. Jeff cut me out a board here. It's just a square foot. You just lay it on there, and I'll mark it, with just going around it. And then you can get 9 holes per square foot. I think one year I got 400 and some seeds in there, and I canned so many green beans just out of this one bed. So I'm going to get that going, and then when he gets home this afternoon, we'll bring you back and show how he hooks up the buckets. And hopefully this helps somebody. Another thing we did do this past week with the help of our son with his backhoe is he dug all the way up there. You can't see the well, it's behind this tree, but it's a pretty good incline. But our water line is finally buried. You come across there, we had to get locates in, and we've got a frost-free hydrant right here next to our raised beds. Now the last few years, if you'll remember, we've got a piece of garden or ground cover right there, and we always set 2 55-gallon plastic drums, food grade there, and we would carry 5-gallon buckets of water from them. We'd keep them barrels full, and we just had a spigot on that. But with this, we now are going to be able to add a hose to it and just put it over into the buckets, and it's going to fill them. So a little bit easier each year that we're doing this, but the concept's still the same with your drip line, and as long as them buckets are up high and the drip lines is below it, it's going to trickle out into your beds. All right, putting the buckets in. He'll show you how he did it. It's on the other video, but we'll show you how we do this one. These buckets are food grade buckets that we bought last year, and he's already got the hole drilled in it. And then he's going to take these fittings that we had, which all these fittings are listed in that first video. So like I said, I'll link that one and then the updated one that we did. So you can go back and watch them and see how we did all this.
And well, how long ago was that we had other video? Do you remember?
2 or 3 years ago.
My point to that is that's probably a little higher than what it used to be.
Yeah, it is.
Of course. Fact of life anymore. Anyway, putting that on there like that, and then we've got filters here. Put the filter. This is very important.
You have to check these because when they clog, the water won't come out.
So
Clean them.
With that being said, the cleaner water that you put in these buckets, the longer these filters stay. Now, you're saying, well, why don't you just not use a filter? If you don't use a filter, you're going to plug up them holes in them lines.
Yeah.
trust me, we find
Yeah.
out. We found that out. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. This setup right here really does work good. And then she's got this, whoops, she'll have to hook that back up, but this just slides on there then.
Quick connect.
And then that's how it works. I'm not sure how she had
That
that.
just, let's see. It just, oh, I had a staple in it there.
Oh, okay.
So now it's ready to be filled up. We'll go ahead and fill one up here shortly and show you how it starts to drip. I don't know if we'll get to it today, but we're going to get a hose out and see if we can't fill these buckets without carrying a 5-gallon bucket.
I'm missing a black
And just use a hose to fill them.
piece.
You need a black one?
Yeah, for the bucket.
Now the first year we did this, these red buckets we bought new. And you'll see why we did the upgrade last year with what we're doing, because we didn't pre-drill them buckets. So when we put the screw in it, it cracked them.
Down there?
Yeah. So now we use them just as our bucket holders. He cut the rings off and made the slit. And then we bought new buckets. And then now this worked great last year.
We had absolutely no issues with buckets like we did the year before that. And all of them didn't, but most of them did. I wonder now, looking back on it, if it ain't got something to do with them colored buckets, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it had a screen in it already.
I put one in it.
Oh, okay.
A new one. We have some new ones.
So see, after the first year you guys get this all done, you're going to have everything pre-cut, and if you'd mark them, you're going to know with which bed they goes to what, and then the setup becomes really easy. Now these here will get buckets when we pull these potatoes out, because this is probably going to go back in beans. So we'll have to get red buckets put on these posts and get the irrigation in when we plant the beans for these, but that isn't for a couple of more months. So right now we're robbing that red one off of that bean bed, because last year that was a tomato bed, and bringing it over here to this little one so it can get hooked up.
Guys, there's no certain way this has to be done. If you ain't got, I had no telephone post that I got from our electric company, and they said we could have them if we wanted them. So I took them and I just cut these off. If you're set up, you can drive, you can set them on something if you're not worried about wind, all that type of stuff.
Well, you actually made this one down here. I can show them.
Yeah, I made a stand down there if you want to just make you some. If you don't want
It's just whatever you can do to get that bucket higher, so the gravity will do the work for your water going down into your drip irrigation without having to have a pump. That's what this is all about.
I used to always say I have more time than I do money, which is still the case. But like I said, the telephone post thing was just something that worked out for
Yeah,
us.
and it was free here on the property, so.
And we didn't pay nothing for it. It was free. So if it works for you, you can just kind of think outside the box, and whatever works for you will work.
Concrete blocks, 3 or 4 high.
That could be interesting. That's a little close.
You can maybe pull it a little if you need it.
Well, if it was in a hole, it may not matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like that.
All right, I just put 3/4 of a 5-gallon bucket of water in there. See the stuff floating? The bucket had some stuff in it, so that's what your filter is good for. So we do put these lids on it. And you can see right there, it's already starting to drip. So what you want to do, especially with the first time, is make sure, like it's already dripping over here. So it means it's made it through the hose. And right there you can tell that I had made the, let me see here. Sorry guys, my hand was in the way. I don't know if you can see that, but I had got the hole a little too big right there, which it don't matter on that. I had slipped, but this one here is starting to drip now. And so was all the others, so this one's good. Yeah, it's starting to drip. So we're good on that, but that's how you do a gravity-fed irrigation. Like I said, I'll link the 2 videos. Watch the one first. I'll try to mark them which one is the first one. We did do an upgrade last year, and then watch that one and see what we did different. But the first one's going to tell you what parts and everything that you need. And now this works great. So we're trying it with the hose this time and see if we can, since the well doesn't have a pump, if the gravity fed's going to let us use a hose instead of carrying buckets of water. And so far it's working. He installed this faucet over the weekend. So far it's working. And you can see the drip is starting to work now too. Yeah, and then it's over here too, so this drip line's good. I don't have to go and open the holes any. That's probably plenty for them 2 plants.
Yeah.
Can we shut her off?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the next morning. Absolutely beautiful. Sun is just getting ready to come up. And I come out this morning because we put some water in these buckets, and I wanted to see if there was any holes that was clogged. And you can tell right here I've got one that's probably starting to get clogged. I don't know, this one maybe, but over there. So I was going to show you how I opened the holes before we end this video. So let me get my tool and I'll show you what I do. Okay, I hope you can see me. I did put some water in just to, I've got this tool. I use it for my Cricut machine, but it serves a lot of purposes in our house. So you just want to get into one of these emitters and just poke it, because sometimes it gets clogged. And you can, as you can see, I'm hoping you can see it. It's already starting to drip right there. So all I had to do was just get it opened up. Now, like I said, this in here, I didn't have this tool with me one day, so I actually used something bigger, and you can tell it, but it's not going to hurt anything, and it's not going to make me want to change the hose or the drip line, because in the dry season, this bed's going to need all the water that it can get. So I'm going to go around to the other side over there and get the other hose done. Okay, so here's another one that I'm suspicioning is clogged. And I'm sorry I'm left-handed, so I'm right in your way. But all you do is just poke it. It should come through. I didn't fill my bucket full, that's like I told you, so it may not do it till I get enough pressure in there from a full bucket of water to go on this one. This one is dripping. This one down here, I know you can't see me, I'm out of screen, but it's the same thing as this one, so not sure why it's not dripping yet. Here's a hole. We'll try that one. If I can't get this one to drip, I may have to maneuver this line a little bit. So I could take this and just move it like that. I know I'm in your way. I apologize. Okay, I can get this one to drip. So I think we're good on that. I don't know why this outer one isn't. But anyway, we'll do that. And that's another one of them holes where I didn't have this tool out here and it's dripping. So I think between them two holes, they're going to be fine. But yeah, if you got anything similar to this, I'd say a straight pin would even do it if you didn't have nothing else. Or like my husband's got a Craftsman punch, just a little bit, anything with a sharp, tiny point that could kind of open that. But if you ever get clogged, check your filter in your bucket that we showed you, that screen thing, or check the holes to see if they're clogged. Don't go replacing a bunch of stuff. I've just now got this line to where I want it, so I'm really liking this. Just set it up yesterday and it's going to work fine. So if you needing watering system for your raised beds and you don't have a well house, or I mean, just get you buckets. As long as it's higher than the bed, it's going to work. So this is Shelly from Hodgepodge Hoosiers. Bye for now.